So welcome to Office Administration. We will be continuing travel arrangements, and this is the second video from the topics travel arrangements. So we're going to move on to a new objective today that CSEX wants you or require you to know to prepare yourself for the exam. Calculate time based on knowledge of time differences between two or more countries. So before we can do that, we need to know what are time zone and their significance. Time zone is defined as a region where same standard time is used. Basically, this is saying that the world is divided into different sections or regions. And within those sections and regions, the countries that fall within these allocated area, they carry the same time. So the world is divided into sections, and countries that fall within these sections, they carry the same time. That's basically what are time zones. There are 24 time zones in a 360 circumference of the earth. So there are 24 time zones all together. Each time zone represents 1 hour time difference, and the time zones are 15 degrees longitude apart. So each time zone there are an hour apart from each other, and each time zone they have 15 degrees longitude apart. Each time zone to the east of the Greenwich Meridian is 1 hour ahead of the time. So each time zone that's east of the prime meridian or the Greenwich Meridian is 1 hour ahead of that time, and each time zone that's west of the Greenwich Meridian is 1 hour behind the GTM time for every 15 degrees of longitude. So I'm going to there is one more. The line in the middle of the 12th zone, which is opposite to the prime meridian or 0, is called the international date line. So the line that is opposite to the primary meridian is called the international date line. So I'm going to use this diagram here. Pay attention to the diagram, and I'm going to try to explain or give you some knowledge of how time zones work. So if you notice the arrow here, it's at 0, and this is called the meridian time, prime meridian, and this time here, all the countries that fall within this blue here carry the same time. Then east of the prime meridian, this arrow here, once you're going east or to the right, for each time zone you can see the different colors here represent one different time zone. For each time zone, the countries that fall within this color here or this color here is an hour ahead of the previous time zone. So the countries that fall within this lime green here is 1 hour ahead of the prime meridian time. The countries that fall in this deep green or the forest green is 2 hours ahead, and then 3 we continue adding an hour for each time zone ahead. And to the west of the prime meridian, the time goes backward. The hour we fall behind time, the prime meridians for each section is an hour behind the prime meridian. Time zone, significance of time zone. The significance of time zone is to enable one to place telephone calls to foreign countries at appropriate time. So being able to make telephone calls and actually connect with person in foreign countries is very important. For business people and ordinary people or person who want to make contact with friends and family, you need to know their time zone, be familiar with their time zone so that you can get into contact with them. For business people, if they don't have knowledge of time zone, they might not get on to their business partner, which can end up in or result in loss of trade or slow down productivity. So having knowledge of time zone is very important. Negotiate travel arrangements so as to make maximum use of time. Having good knowledge of time zone will make sure that you don't waste any time when you're making travel arrangement, because you might be in one time zone and you may use or make arrangement for time or everything in your time zone, which in when you are making travel arrangements, you have to take in consideration the other country that you're making that you're planning to travel to and their time, because you might end up miscalculating and misusing your time. So these are some helpful information for you to remember. Time zone influence trading and traveling pattern. This is so true because without knowledge of time zone, we won't be able to trade properly with our partners or other countries around the world. Say for example China. Let's say we have to make an important order to China or some country in that area there. And because we don't have knowledge of the time zone and we are calling when it's our working hour here in Guyana and we're calling China and nobody's answering. The reason being so because it's night there, their working hours finished, nobody's at the telephone to answer. So we must have good knowledge of our trading partners' time zone so that we can make contact with them. Setting your time zone to the international partner or to your travel destination will make it easier to conduct trading since business hours matches. So one way to curb not making contact with your business partner is setting your time zone to them. So you can have a separate clock or something or digital watch and set it to your international partner or destination time zone, so when you're making arrangement or making call, you know exactly what time it is there. Different time zone forces business to factor in time zone conversion when dealing with international business and can negatively impact workers' productivity, which is very true. If you don't, it forces business to make conversion, because if they want to have that productivity and they want to make contact with their business partner, they have to do the conversion. So by you have to have knowledge of time zone to make sure that your business stay on track or intact. So we're going on to the last section or the last subtopic for today, which is daylight saving. Daylight saving is a system used by certain countries to adjust their clock by 1 hour ahead of the standard time, time as indicated by the world time zone, for a specific period, 31st of March to the 26th of October daytime saving time periods. This adjustment in the local time allow people to use an extra hour of daylight time, say time saving, in the afternoon for work or recreation. So those countries that are in the northern hemisphere, they experience during the winter time, they experience late afternoon and early mornings. So to what the international daytime, they have their international daytime, and because it's still bright in the afternoon, they set their time an hour ahead during this period of March 31st to November the 26th, so that they could work an extra hour of time. That's basically what is daylight saving. So when you are making your travel arrangement, you might have knowledge of the international time zones, but you have to be aware of those countries, certain countries that will be using the daylight saving time. Not all countries use it, but some countries they have it in place there. So that's all for today. I hope that you guys are reading your handouts and staying safe. So see you in the next video. Have a good time.